I've just got it back up and running. Yep. Right now, who are we missing? Yeah, so we should still have a full grid tonight, regardless. There's no ghosting to my knowledge. Yeah, I'm streaming. Yeah. No, I'm actually. Oh, where I'm from? No, I'm actually from the UK.
Caesar, dude, Caesar. Should I host the lobby, bro? I don't have to sleep on you. So I can host the lobby.
Right. Nope. Ah, right. Right, so it's actually Ivan that's going to be hosting now.
Okay. Weird.
I was a little confused, but we're getting there. Apologies for the technical issues, folks. We are going to get this race up and running as soon as we can. There we go, full grid.
All right.
We finally got there.
Only took 45 minutes.
Yep. So yeah, we apologise for the delay for those that are watching right now. But now that we finally have everything sorted, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fres McKenzie here. Welcome to round 5 of the Extreme 1 Racing League. We are in the Catalunya circuit in Barcelona, in Spain, this evening. And with me this evening as guest commentator, since Willem Mare and Ivan, who are my regular commentators, are racing this evening, is one of the reserve drivers for this league. It's Mr. Owen Lewis. Owen, welcome along this evening.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and I can participate even if I'm not driving.
Well, it's always good to have guest commentators, especially if the guest commentators are actually drivers from the league as well. We had Gary Braddon, who was the winner of the first round of the Talk of the Devil League in Australia, as guest commentator for the Extreme 1 League season opener a few weeks ago. And now we've got another guest commentator in the form of another driver. So yeah, I mentioned on commentary last night before over the course of the weekend that over the course of the stream that it's been a very somber weekend for the motor racing community. As yesterday we had a horrific crash at the feature race for the Formula 2 in Belgium, which sadly took the life of Anton Hubert, who passed away yesterday at the age of just 22 years old. Today we had the sprint race for the Formula 2 cancelled, and we had a minute's silence before the race started for the Formula 1 as well.
Yeah, it was a devastating time in motorsport history, and obviously it wasn't taken lightly. Great respect from all the drivers on the grid, especially during the trophy presentation. There was no celebration, and
no champagne sprayed on the podium, and really, but you've got to admire how well the community managed to pull together for after such a harrowing event.
Yeah, definitely, and it was a very odd weekend after the incident, and may he rest in peace.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the race earlier today, I was right on the edge of my seat. I was just begging and pleading and praying that Charles Leclerc was going to get that race win.
Definitely, yeah.
I felt he absolutely deserved it with the pace that he showed in qualifying, and with how fast that Hamilton was closing in on Leclerc. I was just like, please just let Leclerc have this win.
Hamilton always finds a way to get pace out of his car, and a few more laps and he probably would have taken the lead. So great job on Leclerc for maintaining his pace and making sure that he was fast enough that on the final lap he was still able to pull through.
Absolutely.
But now it's time to focus on the Extreme 1 Racing League. Drivers are out for their out lap.
Indeed, it'll be the usual rules apply for qualifying across both leagues, the Extreme 1 and the Talk of the Devil League. The slowest 5 cars will be eliminated from this part of qualifying.
Right. So this is
Yellow
a. Oh yeah, what happened there? I think it was just a
we had
slow
yellow
car,
flags.
probably.
That often is the case that you have drivers slowing down to let cars go past, so they've got a clear track ahead of them.
Yep.
But while we're waiting for the laps to be set, having a look at the standings, it's a very interesting standings at the moment. We've actually got you, Owen, at the top of the championship with 62 points. Ryan DeLille for Racing Point second with 53 points, and then we've got Michael Handel, who is not going to be racing this weekend. He actually has a race ban after picking up enough penalty points to result in a race ban. He will not be racing this weekend, but he's currently third in the championship with 35 points. Romano just a couple of points behind him on 33. With the Constructors' Championship, on the other hand, it's a bit more clear-cut.
We have a spin. Sorry to interrupt. Captain Crunch spun out. And he lost his front wing.
Oh, that's Devon in the Haas. That's why yellow flags are out in Sector 2. In the Constructors' Championship, you've got Red Bull with 74 points. Haas with 72 points. And in third, you've got Racing Point with 55 points. Ferrari and Toro Rosso behind on 48 and 42 respectively. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that. To see how the standings are going to be...
Yeah, so I'll be out for a few races, probably 5 or 6, including this one. So I'll drop down relatively low, and I guess I'm gonna assume Wadobu is gonna take the lead eventually. He's been consistently fast for the past 3 races he's participated in, and it'll be challenging for me once I get back to see if I can catch up again. Yeah, so Wadobu already setting fastest lap, about 7 tenths.
Yeah, 1:19.1, 7 tenths ahead of Jorge Waddington. He did well last time out in Baku, managed to get pole position and ending up getting the race win. And we also mentioned on commentary that... well, actually, scratch that. It was actually you, Owen, that won the race. No, hang on. I'm a little confused here. Right, it was actually you, Owen, that got pole position last time out in Baku, but Waddington did actually go on to take the race win after a fantastic show of sportsmanship in the Talk of the Devil League the previous night, allowing Callum Harrod to go past and take the second place after the technical issues plagued him for the climax of the race.
Yep, I actually haven't seen that, but it sounded like it was a good race, and he's a very respectable driver, and very fun to race with him because he's also very quick. So.
Yeah, and so we've got another newcomer to the league. This guy, the guy I'm with right now in the Red Bull, is Neil Larrigan. He's one of the newcomers to this league, the latest of the drivers to join our ranks.
Okay.
Currently ninth with a 1:21.5 on the medium tyres. That's a very good lap from him.
Yeah, he's driving very reserved right now. I'm watching him race as well. He can definitely squeeze a little more of the car, unless he's in his end lap, which he probably is. In any case, yeah, a warm welcome to him. Hopefully he'll show some presence in the race and make it entertaining for us.
Yeah, indeed. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from the next race, which will be in Canada. Hang on a second. That's one of the alphas. That's he almost lost it, and he's out. He's out of the session. Oh my goodness me! It's one of the alphas, and he is out.
Wow. Where did he lose it? I missed it. I wasn't looking at him.
It was. It looks like it was on the run down. It was oh, and we've got a McLaren off as well. The Alpha. It looks like they went off at the on the back straight, heading down towards turns 10 and 11. And we had one of the McLarens. It was Ivan. Ivan was the McLaren that lost control. And the Alpha that's out of the session is Dion. Dion in the Alpha. He is not going to be able to do anything in qualifying. He's out of the session.
Wow.
And Willem Mare and Ivan mentioned on commentary last night that the curbs on this track are very unforgiving. All it takes is clipping them the wrong way, and you end up losing control of the car altogether.
Absolutely, they are brutal. You can see on some of them, some of the bumps come up maybe half a foot off the track, and touch it, your whole car flies up, and you can lose seconds off of your lap, and it's fatal for qualifying, and definitely dangerous during the race. Yeah. This track is especially hard because of the curves, and there's some you can touch, others you'll spin. It's just a matter of knowing how hard you can push the car, where you can push the car, and those who are able to do that will definitely see faster lap times.
And those fast times are going to come towards the tail end of the session. But yet, despite Ivan's spin, he managed to get up to 7th with a 120.292, just 0.08 slower than Brendan in the Mercedes. But while we say that, we've got Jarbe Lu, who is 1,000th slower than Jorge in the Williams. And you've got John Taylor, 5th in the Williams as well. Very impressive lap times from them.
Yeah, they're very close. I think we'll definitely see them separate a little bit at the end of Q1. But looks like it'll be an interesting race at this rate. After all, at about the same pace. And it's important to keep in mind the 2 racing points won't be qualifying today, which means Dion, who crashed out, will start in 18th. And so that leaves only 2 cars left in this session who will be disqualified for Q2.
Yeah, and that being, as it stands, Ben Hazelwood in the Toro Rosso and Romano in the McLaren. Romano's on his outlap. Ben Hazelwood just coming across the line now to finish his lap. What's his time going to be? Turns out the lap time's not going to count, but that'll be due to corner infringements. Got to be careful, otherwise. Got to be careful with the corner cutting, otherwise it's going to invalidate the lap time, and it's going to cause a lot of problems the later the session goes on if you haven't set a lap time yet.
Yep.
And
who's got 5 minutes?
That was.
Oh, who's that?
Oh my word! That was Gareth. It looked like Gareth was on the racing line. Got in the way of Ben Hazelwood. Ben won't be happy with that one. It's another lap potentially ruined for him. So yeah, from what I can gather, as far as the Racing Points not being allowed to participate in qualifying, it sounds like they've got a qualifying ban. I mean, I might be wrong on that one.
Yep, they got their qualifying ban for voting yes in their participation, but not showing up for Baku. So there's a quali ban, and they'll face the penalty. They'll start in the last last row.
Right, that all makes sense now. Ben Hazelwood did manage to get a lap time though. He managed to get a 1:21.6. 14th. He's only a couple of places up. He's only a couple of places above the elimination zone. Lee's in the elimination zone alongside Michael Handel, Willem, Dion, and Tom McGregor. So I think I may have made a slight mix-up on my end as far as race bans are concerned. Because it turns out Michael Handel is actually racing, but he doesn't have enough
lap time.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, look at 1:19.031. So yeah, my mistake. It turns out he doesn't have enough penalty points to have a race ban.
He's definitely getting there though. He finds a way every race to squeeze out a few penalty points. So it's only a matter of time. That puts him on pole. Q1 times don't really reflect true pace of the drivers. Just a matter of getting to Q2 and to Q3. In Q2, again, we won't really see the true pace of drivers because they're choosing a tire that they're going to start the race on. And normally it's medium, so we'll see some slower lap times.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, the interesting, like you said, the second part of qualifying doesn't reflect the pace, but it is crucial as far as the race strategy is concerned.
Definitely.
What tire are you going to start the race on?
Yeah, I think we'll see many drivers choose the mediums, and in Q2, the point of it is not only to get into Q3, but also preserve your tires for the race. Set a fastest lap, but also make sure that your tires can last a good 10 to 13 laps. And if these drivers can pull that off, then they'll do pretty well in the race.
Very true. But of course, with this being a 50% race, they won't have to worry about pushing their tyres as long as you would in a 100% race.
Definitely, but if everybody's got the same amount of lap times, you know, they're all pushing as hard, and sometimes it's faster to pit earlier. So I'm curious to see if we're gonna see some one stops, some two stops, and what everyone's strategy is in that case.
It will be interesting to see what happens there, because like you said, the ideal choice would be to get the medium tyres, so you can go for that longer first stint before going on to the softs for the sprint finish.
Right. Definitely. So I think we'll see drivers Set their lap times either in softs or mediums. Softs for 2 stops. So we'll go soft, medium, medium, or soft, medium, soft, depending on how well they can observe their tires. Or we'll see drivers qualify on mediums and possibly pull off a 1 stop. So the drivers to look for are Wadobu, to see what he does, and Michael, and depending on what tires they choose, we'll see some interesting strategy competition here.
Yeah, so the first part of qualifying has come to a close. The drivers eliminated from this part of qualifying: Gareth in the Alfa Romeo, Lee in the Renault, the 2 racing points of Willem and Tom, and you've also got Dion in the other Alfa Romeo eliminated, not being able to set a lap time. Irving, the only driver yet to complete his lap, but he's safe. He's currently 9th, so he'll be very happy with that. If you're able to keep the softer tyres for the later parts of qualifying, or even save a set of softs for the race, you could be at an advantage after that first stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Irving does indeed come into the pit. He's not going to be improving on his lap time, but he's not overly concerned about that. He'll be getting himself ready for the next part of qualifying, where, as I've mentioned, that's where the strategy is going to come into play. What tyres will they start on? But mind you, that's just for the top 10. For 11th down to 15th, they will still have free tyre choice.
Right. So drivers now need to up their pace a little bit and get out of Q2 and work on their strategy.
And that was about that right out the gate at the end. Kyle Keegan in the Mercedes, 1:18.8, pulled that one right out of the bag at the end. Fantastic lap from him. So
Great lap time and showcase of his pace. I think that really he really pushed the car in that lap, and that will probably reflect how fast he goes in Q3.
Indeed, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. With that lap time, he definitely could be one to watch in the race. But the interesting thing I've noticed with some of the drivers in the past is that some drivers have great one-lap pace, but can't carry that over to great race pace. And then you've got those that are on the opposite end of the spectrum, where they don't have the best qualifying pace, but as far as race pace is concerned, they're on another level.
Absolutely, and that comes down to strategy and how well you can manage your tires. I've seen drivers with setups that just destroy the tires, and by the end of their stints, there's nothing left, even in a 50% race. And then those who have extreme pace and can pull off the tire management, those are the ones who we see win races, regardless of their qualifying. And those who can pull it off well are, for example, Wadobu, who won in Baku and is consistently showing how fast he is. Yeah, I mean, this isn't only a sport of how fast you can go, but how well you manage your car and your strategy.
Yeah, here we go. Turns out, and it looks like we're going to be losing the slowest 4 cars instead of the slowest 5. Which is Indeed, someone must have encountered technical issues before this part of qualifying, meaning they won't be able to take part in this part of qualifying.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. I wonder who that was. Oh, it was Willem, I guess.
He was one of the drivers that was eliminated from the first part of qualifying.
Oh, right. I think he's a Force India driver, if I'm not mistaken.
I was gonna say both Racing Point drivers, because Force India got rebranded to Racing Point.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
I'll say, yeah, both Racing Point drivers didn't actually take part because, like you mentioned, they had qualifying bans for rule infringements in Baku last time out.
Yep. They failed to show up.
Yeah, we've got just over half the field looking like they're going to be starting on the medium type, but we've got Irving here.
That?
Oh, that was someone's gone off.
That's Michael, who has spun. Looks like he's now getting back on track. He's going the. Yeah, there we go. He's good now.
Yeah, it was Michael in the Haas. How's about that?
That's interesting.
He's got front wing damage on, because you'll see on the stream for the viewers, you can see on the stream that he has damage on the left hand side of his front wing. That'll affect his time a little bit.
And looks like he'll want to start on the medium, so these extra laps are definitely gonna affect his tire, and he's not gonna be happy about that.
It's a set of tyres up in smoke, essentially. Wadobu you mentioned in the Renault, that's Anthony Waddington, who I mentioned at the at the top of the broadcast. Waddington is fastest at the moment with a 1:19.1. Irving just goes second with a 1:19.5. And turns out, it looks like it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But at the end of the day, just need to keep pushing on to try and get the best lap time possible to get into that top 10 shootout. Both Mercedes have just set a lap. Keegan in the Mercedes. Mercedes, 1:20.1. Brendan, his teammate, a 1:21.4.
Yep. They're on the medium, so they're gonna show some slower lap times, of course, but Kyle Keegan has a tendency to drive some slow laps during the beginning and middle of qualifying, and then at the very last second he pulls off some extremely fast laps. So we'll see if he sticks with the mediums or if he eventually moves to the softs. Anthony, who has the fastest lap currently, looks like he'll have a 2-stop strategy, including Irving.
Yeah, we've got both Red Bulls, Neil and Caesar, on flying laps at the moment. They've yet to set a lap time, but Neil on his second lap on those mediums, Caesar on fresh mediums. Looks like that's the tyres they could potentially start the race on, should they make it into the top 10 shootout. And we've got one of the Williams, Jar Bailu, who's just started his flying lap. Caesar, meanwhile, who I'm with right now, he comes around the final corner. What lap time's he going to set? 7th at the moment, a 1:20.7. Time looks okay, but he could be on the bubble of potentially being eliminated here.
Yeah, especially if drivers choose to set some lap timers on the softs, including Quadus or Brendan.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
see what
Quadus is Carl
happens.
Keegan.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm with Jarbelu right now, and it looks like just like last night, he's sporting a pink helmet with black in it as a sign of respect for Anton Hubert. A lot of the drivers in the Talk of the Devil last night did have their pink and black helmets as a sign of respect to Hubert last night. It was a good race.
We also see drivers with the number 19, which was Antonio's number as well.
Indeed, but Jarbelu is actually coming to the pits now. It's one of the highlights of the Belgian Grand Prix for me today was the fact that the crowd gave a standing ovation on lap 19, and I just thought that is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was a great gesture to Antonio, and really shows the impact something like that has on the motorsport community.
Indeed, we've got Ben Hazelwood. He's coming across the line now to get his flying lapping. He's had a couple of laps to get his tyres warmed up, but now but looks like he's slowed all the way down. I don't think he was too happy with the time that he set. It's only Neil, Ben, and Jarbelu, or JBL to give him his nickname, those three are yet to set a lap time at the moment. So we'll wait and see what happens. So JBL is going out for another lap. Fresh set of mediums. He's definitely shown he's got the pace, but the question is, will he be able to pull out a lap time to be able to get into the top 10 shootout? There's 5 minutes left to go. It's Brendan, Neil, Ben, and JBL all in danger of elimination. Anthony Waddington currently fastest, Irving second, Michael third, Jorge fourth, Ivan fifth, John Taylor in the Williams sixth, Keegan seventh, Javier in the Toro Rosso 8th, Romano 9th, and Caesar rounding up the top 10. Ben's had a couple of laps to warm up his tyres, and now he's really going for it here. 22-second first sector, that's a very quick first sector for him. Could potentially challenge for a top 5 slot in this part of qualifying, but again, this part of qualifying is all about the strategy and what tyres you're going to start the race on should you make it into the top 10 shootout.
Absolutely, and for the bottom, I'd say 8 or 9 drivers, there's still that competition of getting through to Q3, getting in a top 10 position. So yeah, they're not only trying to set a fast lap, but you have to keep in mind that their tires need not be worn out too much.
Indeed, but Hazelwood comes across the line now at 21.0, still not fast enough.
And that'll be it for him. I don't think he can pit and get back out there in time. I'll be surprised if he does.
It'll be really touch and go. You're looking at roughly a minute 45, if that, to get out of the pits and come out onto the track to be able to do your outlap and have enough time to get.
So that'll be it for him. But here we see Brendan in the Mercedes on his outlap. He'll definitely be able to get out of the bottom 4 and into the top 10. Caesar is now 12th.
Yes, he's just gone down to 12th because
come out of the pit.
Yeah, Caesar's just gone down to 12th because his teammate Neil has just gone into 6th place. 120.067. There's not much in it from 6th down to 12th. There's roughly half a second between those 7 slots, so it's anyone's guess as to what's going to happen between those drivers.
Absolutely. A lot of drivers are on their outlap right now. So we'll have some last minute time set in, and we'll see what happens with the top 15 or top 14.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about trying to get on the track now, you're really cutting it fine at this point. Doesn't look like anyone going to. Oh, that's one of the Ferraris. I just saw one of the Ferraris just parked on the track. It was Irving. He was just parked on the he was just parked on the outside of the track. But he's managed to get going
fine now. Yeah. Javier is on his lap, as is, I don't know his real name, but Rosat.
We've got Romano and Ivan McLaren's on flying laps. Irving's on a flying lap as well. Kyle Keegan on a lap. Javier and the Toro Rosso on a lap. And we've got Brendan, who I'm with right now, on a lap as well. And hang on, we've got Michael.
Oh, I think it was
Michael in the Haas.
Pits. Just retired.
And we've just had Ben Hazelwood. He's retired. He knows he's not going to be progressing. Caesar's not going to be progressing either. Jarvis in danger of being eliminated.
Impressive lap time.
118.9.
Softs.
And Jarbelu's just been eliminated. Can Brendan improve? Yes, he does. He goes up to 7th. And Javier isn't going to improve. So both Toro Rossos, Jarbelu, Caesar, and Ben Hazelwood have all been eliminated.
So it looks like most drivers are going to be starting on softs. Many of whom probably wanted to start on mediums, but there was definitely too much of a risk to disqualify out of Q2. So, except for Michael, who did pull it off.
Yeah. Michael's the only driver to be starting on the mediums. So your top 10 shootout is going to consist of Ivan, Anthony Warrington, Jorge, Irving, Michael, Romano, Brendan, Neil, John Taylor, and Kyle Keegan. We've got 2 drivers that are going to be starting on the medium tyres for the race, which will be getting underway in about 20 minutes from now.
Kyle was also able to pull off a medium, so he'll also be on that. Now on a Q3, this is where we will see the fastest lap times in the race, probably. You just call me Cookie. Alright, we'll call you Cookie.
And
I don't even know your real name anyway. Just call everyone by their pretend. So here we go, we'll see some immediate lap time set in, get some rubber on the track. These tires won't be used in the race, so they can go all out.
indeed, it's Michael. Yeah, so yeah, it turns out Ben Hazelwood would rather be called Cookies, so we'll just go with that. Yeah, but he didn't make it into this part of qualifying, so here we go, top 10 shootout. This is where the pace is going to come into play. I mentioned it throughout last season in the Talk of the Devil League that this is the fastest we're going to get to see the cars throughout this evening. We've got a few drivers yet to come out. We've got Jorge, John Taylor, and Neil all still in the pits, and we've got Michael in the Haas, still the first driver to start his flying lap. A few other drivers starting their lap as well, and it looks like some of these drivers are going to have time. These drivers, if they wanted to, they'll have time to do their outlap, their flying lap, and then come back into the pits, change their tyres if they need to, which they more than likely will, and then go out for another lap to try and improve on their position should they need to.
Yeah, it's pretty normal for drivers in Q3 to do 2 laps, one to get used to the track right when qualifying begins, and then one at the last minute, as late as they can get out, when the track is most warm and the best condition for their tires.
And Michael straight out of the gate in the Haas, a 1:18.8 right out of the gate. That's a very good time to start with.
It's a good time, but I don't think it'll be fast enough. But we'll see as qualifying goes on.
We could end up going into the low 118s if we were able to. And Irving second at the moment to 1:19.507. Keegan 1:19.536. Brendan 1:20.4. What does Waddington have under his belt? He's coming through the final sequence of corners now. He's only got this right-left chicane to negotiate. Well, left-right, the right-left-right chicane, and then sweeping right-hander onto the main straight. What's he going to pull off? 1:18.6. That is a great lap time from him. He goes fastest at the moment, and now we. So
it's a great lap time. I think we'll see him go down into possibly 1:18.4 around that area. I'll be surprised if he goes faster than that. but that already is a pole position lap time, so there's not much competition with him, except for Michael, who is also very capable of pulling off a fast lap time like that.
He's got 3 pole positions to his name this season. But I'm with Neil in the Red Bull at the moment. He's definitely looking quick. He's coming down the back straight, approaching turns 10 and 11. Second sector time looks okay. Nothing spectacular at the moment, but he's probably saving himself for that final attacking lap to potentially get himself near the front of the grid.
So our top 5 drivers now in the pits. We won't see them come back out until the last few minutes of qualifying. Jorge sets P3.
Good lap time from him, 1:19.4. Neil in the Red Bull, 1:19.7. And
Michael is going to go out.
Yeah, yellow flags in sector 1. Ivan spun it out of turn 2.
Yep.
We'll need to wait for that Williams to go by before he can rejoin the track. Unless there's another car approaching. Oh, Ivan's got problems, and there you go.
I think he'll be good. He'll have time to pit, get a new wing on there. I think he'll be okay.
It doesn't look like he got any. Doesn't look like he has any damage. He's lucky to have avoided any damage, if that. But he's turned the car down. He'll be waiting. He'll be going for another. He'll be going for another lap, without a doubt. He looks okay at the moment. Not what he would have wanted, though.
So I'm watching Michael. He is most likely setting his lap, or his last lap of qualifying, as he won't have time to pit again and come back out.
So yeah, still with Ivan at the moment. Michael's come out for another lap. Romano's coming out for another lap. Brendan, 3 laps on those soft tyres at the moment. He's cutting it fine if he wants to try and improve on his position. But Ivan, just coming around the final corner now, he is going for another lap. He's got a nice clear track ahead of him. He'll be hoping not to have a repeat of what happened on his last lap. Much smoother through that sequence, coming around turn 3. Much smoother, much better. He's definitely a man on a mission here. It's a great first sector time. Pretty much on point with everybody else. But will he be able to...
and Michael spins it. Michael spun it right into the pit lane, so he'll have time to get back out there, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. But Ivan, definitely a man on a mission here. He's definitely looking okay. And again, second sector time. It looks quick. But is he going to be able to challenge for that pole position? We only have 2 pole sitters this season. Michael will be chasing his second pole position. And we've got you, Owen, with 3 pole positions this season as well. And Ivan across the line, 1:20.3. It's a good time, but he's at the bottom of the pack. So the top 10 at the moment as we head into the final part of qualifying, the final stages of qualifying. Anthony Waddington on provisional pole. Michael Handel 2nd, Jorge 3rd, Romano 4th, Irving 5th, Kyle 6th, Neil 7th, John Taylor 8th, Brendan 9th, and Ivan rounding up the top 10. And as it turns out, oh my word, Ivan's out of fuel. Ivan just ran out of fuel after that last lap. So
That's unfortunate to him.
Yeah, he's not going to improve on his lap time.
And Brendan coming out of the pits right now, it'll be a struggle for him to get through this lap. And
yeah, he's definitely cutting it fine. Really cutting it fine. But Irving's on his flying lap meanwhile, coming around the last sequence of corners. Looking okay. Oh, he almost lost the back end. Coming around the final corner now. Is he going to improve on his time? Yes, he does! Third man into the 118s, a 118.9.
That is a great lap from him.
And Romano coming into the pits. He has aborted his lap, so he'll be starting at the very... he won't be starting 10th because of what happened with Irving. At the very least, he'll be starting in potentially top 6, top 7, depending on how things go. We've got Michael though on a lap. He's only a couple of tenths down on Waddington. He's just gone round turn 4 now. The long sweeping right-hander.
And Brendan pulls off his outlap, so he will be setting his final lap time as well as his teammate Quadus.
Yeah, Kyle Keegan currently 6th. Kyle Keegan currently 6th. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. And I was about that, yeah. Michael is currently half a second up. He's half a second quicker than Waddington's than his best time at the moment. Irving's just coming to the pits. He'll be happy with how he's done. But will Michael take his second pole position of the season? And Kyle Keegan, a 118.7.
What an amazing lap from him.
Can Michael stop him from starting on the front row? We're just about to find out.
And he pulls
does!
it off.
118.455.
That's an amazing lap from Mike. And truly an impressive lap time for this track. Anthony won't be happy about that. I'm not sure what his situation was and why he didn't set a new lap. But congratulations to Mike for that. That was amazing.
At the end of the day, like I said, he will be happy with that. And Brendan does improve his time, but he stays 9th. So Michael, with his second pole position of the season, now to hunt down that race win. We've got Michael on pole, Waddington alongside him on the second row, Kyle Keegan 3rd, Irving 4th, Jorge 5th, Romano 6th, Neil 7th, John Taylor 8th, Brendan 9th, and Ivan rounding up the top 10. And now it's time to get ready for the race. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is race day for round 5 of the Extreme 1 Racing League. We come to you from the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona in Spain. The Sagrada Familia Cathedral was designed by Anthony Gaudi 137 years ago, estimated for completion in a few years' time, 2026. It's also home to Barcelona is also home to Barcelona FC, one of the most successful clubs in football history, unless you watched the Champions League semi-finals last season. We've got a 565-meter run to the first corner, one of the longest runs down to the first corner on the calendar. A 2.8 mile circuit, 16 corners, 7 to the left, 9 to the right, and 2 DRS zones, 1 down the main street and 1 heading up to turns 10 and 11. If you're late enough on the brakes, as Mansell can attest to in 1991, you'll be able to get an overtake done just like he did against Senna in 1991. Not something that Grosjean won't be too proud of is his race start in 2018 at turn 3. A big spin around causing a huge accident. Thankfully, everyone getting out unscathed. And the battle between Bottas and Vettel a couple of years ago on the run down to turns 10 and 11. Fantastic battle between them in 2017. 3 tyre compounds with us are the hardest of the tyre compounds available to us. The soft tyres are the C3, the C2 mediums, and the C1 hard tyres. And a couple of pieces to go. We've got the grid to go through now. It is Michael on pole position for the second time this season. We've got Waddington alongside him on row 2. Then we've got Kyle Keegan in third. Great performance from him to pull that lap time out right at the end of qualifying. Irving and Jorge behind them in fourth and fifth. Then we have Romano in the McLaren in sixth. A great debut for Neil in the Red Bull, 7th. John Taylor, great performance from him in the Williams in 8th. And then rounding up the top 10, you've got Brendan in the sister Mercedes and Ivan in the McLaren. Then we've got Javier in the Toro Rosso with Jarbelu in the Williams alongside him. Caesar in the Red Bull, 13th. Not one of his best qualifying performances, but hopefully he can pull his way through the field. Then we've got Hazelwood in 14th. Then we've got Devon in 15th, followed by Gareth. Then we've got Lee, Willem, and on the last row, we have Dion and Tom McGregor. And before we get the race started, we are now going to have, just like we did last night, a 1-minute silence in memory of Anton Hubert, who passed away last night. Anton Hubert passing away yesterday at the age of just 22. So here we go. We are ready to get things underway for the 5th round of this championship. We've had a lot of first corner carnage over the course of this season so far. I wouldn't be too surprised if we had more of the same this evening. And it turns out not only did I carry out the 1-minute silence on my end, it turns out the drivers have decided to follow suit as well. As far as pit stop times are concerned, we are looking at roughly 21 seconds for a pit stop to be able to make the stop, change the tyres and maintain position on the track. Here we go, the drivers now starting to get themselves readied up, be finalising their strategies. Caesar the first to ready up.
It's go time.
Here's hoping we can pull off another fantastic race like we did last weekend in Baku. We'll wait and see what happens. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and when they go out, it will be race time in Barcelona. A great start there from Waddington. Fantastic start. He's already got into the lead. And it looks like one of the Ferraris has had a good start as well. It's Irving having a good start as well. And amazingly, oh, there was almost contact.
Oh, and that's Jorge. You got spun out by McLaren.
That's one of the Ferraris and one of the Alphas caught up in first corner carnage as well. My goodness me, Jorge down to 13th. Waddington up into the lead. Great start from him.
So Jorge in the Ferrari spun out by McLaren. Oh, looks like Stumpy was... Neymar is out of the race after crashing into Stumpy.
Oh, that's Lee. Lee's out of the race.
Wow. And there's a McLaren off the track.
That'll be Ivan.
Ivan is off. And wow. So we should be getting a safety car.
Surprisingly, no, we would have had it activated by now if that were the case. But Javier has lost his front wing, but I think Ivan has lost his as well.
So a recap of all the crashes. Jorge, Ferrari, spun out by McLaren, possibly Ivan, both Alfa Romeos, and of course India just spun. Looks like he's back on track now.
Willem Murray, he's just spun. We've got Dion in the pits already. We're going to have Javier and Ivan following suit. So the running order at the end of lap 1. Waddington leads, Irving second, Keegan third, Michael fourth.
Oh, and that's Stumpy out.
Oh no!
He had hit his tire trying to enter the pit lane. No lane left. That's very...
There it is. There's the tyre, which Ivan, we're on board with him. Ivan just went straight into it, and he just pushed it along down the pit lane. So we've got 2 retirements at the end of the first lap. So yeah, as I was saying, as I was saying, safety car is out for. The safety car is definitely out. I mean, you said they needed to bring a safety car out. May not have been for Lee's incident, but it was definitely for Javier's incident. So the running order is Waddington leads, Irving second, Kyle Keegan fourth, Michael fifth, Romano sixth, Neil managing to keep himself out of trouble. He's up into sixth. Brendan already up to... Brendan's going down the order. Caesar in the pits as well. JBL in 7th, John Taylor 8th, Jorge 9th, and Devon rounding up the top 10. Then we've got Hazelwood, then Willem Mare, Brendan in the pits. Gareth has gone up to 13th. We've got Brendan, Caesar, and Tom McGregor, followed by Dion and Ivan. All
Total
manner of
mayhem
chaos.
from the middle towards the back of the grid. It's like the top maybe 5 or 6 drivers were able to pull through undamaged. Jorge being the first one to spin or get hit into, wasn't very clear. And then the 2 Alfa Romeos directly following that, both of them taking damage. It looked like Dion having to pit. And then right after that, just in the next corner, Stumpy, unclear as to what exactly happened to him. Spinning out, taking out Neymar.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like Javier is taking he's opened up and he's taking responsibility for what happened for those incidents. And very, very sportsmanlike of him to be able to own up to his mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think he was the cause of any other crash than him and Neymar. So, unclear as to who caused the other ones, whether it was driver error or if there was some collision that caused cars to spin out. We'll definitely find out after the race is over. A lot of footage will be sent in. That was total mayhem. But now,
Indeed,
thankfully, most of the drivers are back on track. Some races may be ruined, but everyone's pretty close to each other, so they'll have the opportunity to win back some time.
Indeed, with this safety car has just neutralized the race completely.
Absolutely. So many drivers very thankful for that, but maybe not the top 5 who getting on their way.
Yeah, Holgate and Michael were some of the biggest losers out of the start. Michael lost 3 positions from the start. Holgate lost 4. But JBL and the Williams started 12th. He's up into 7th. He gained 5 places from the start, as did Devon. But the biggest winner out of everyone was Willem Mare in the Racing Point. He managed to gain a massive 6 places.
Wow.
And we've got the safety car coming in at the end of this lap, which will leave Waddington to be the new pace car. He'll decide when to drop the hammer. And of course, because we've had some laps under the safety car, DRS will not be enabled for another 2 laps here. But we are underway once again in Spain. Great start there from Waddington, but it looks like, hang on a second, we've got Irving right alongside there. Waddington tries to go around the outside of turn 1, wasn't able to make it, wasn't able to make use of it. But JBL and Taylor battling for 7.
Oh, it looks like Brendan and Kyle might be able to pull off overtake on. Oh, they got very close, but never mind.
Yeah, a great start there from Waddington. Irving tried to put some pressure on him, but Waddington, look at that, he's starting to pull away. It looks like we're going to have looks like we've got a 4-car scrap here for 2nd place, involving Irving, Kyle Keegan.
And
Michael.
Kyle Keegan spins, he's off the track.
Oh my word! And he's got a puncture! It looks like he's got a puncture! Oh my goodness me!
Oh wow. I don't think
looks like
he does.
He's able to keep up with he's able to keep up with Toro Rosso, so yeah, he's fine. He's lucky to have avoided a puncture, but we were saying earlier, the curbs are very unforgiving. You clip them the wrong way, and there you go, that's
Absolutely. He had massive oversteer on the top of the fast right-hander, and he lost the rear. His tires right now are extremely hot. It's going to be tough for him to keep the pace up, but we'll see how he continues on.
And for the new viewers here, and oh, hang on a second.
Oh,
hang on a sec.
That's
John Taylor. That's John Taylor. He's spun it into the wall on the exit of, I believe that's turn 2, heading up to turn 3.
Yep.
Well, that's his race ruined. It looks like he's got some front wing damage.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's
straight on.
Yeah, straight on into the wall. Not what he would have wanted, but that's him at the back of the field regardless.
Top 3 are getting on well. Looks like Anthony might be taking a little bit of a lead here.
Indeed, he's already a couple of seconds ahead. He's already got a 2-second gap over Irving.
Michael slowly but surely catching up to Irving once the DRS activates again. We'll see some close battles up there for P2.
Absolutely, DRS is now enabled. And I mentioned before the start of the race, the DRS zones, you've got the main straight, and you've got the run up to turns 10 and 11. Michael keeping within DRS range of Irving. It's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. It doesn't look like he's close enough to make any sort of impact, but nevertheless
he has DRS. So.
But wasn't able to make much progress. He wasn't able to make any sort of impact, and we've had Caesar's gone off the track.
Oh no!
Look, it was the it was the chicane out of turns 10 and 11, and his front wing is ruined. He is going to be. He will be livid. He had to come in earlier to make a stop to change his front wing, and now he's going to need to do it again. But Michael gets past Irving into second place. Cool as you like. Almost loses it out of turn 2.
Very close, almost leaving the track.
And now he can start hunting Waddington down. The gap between them just 3 seconds. But don't be too surprised if you see that gap start to tumble anytime soon.
Looks like we have 4 drivers in the pit. Cookie just exited. He's on the mediums.
Yeah.
Dion mediums.
Dion, no. And, oh, hang on! Michael's lost it! Michael lost it out of turn 9!
Oh no!
His front wing's damaged! And now that's gonna be his race up in smoke.
Well, luckily it's towards the end of the lap. He'll be able to pit here and get a wing on as soon as possible. Definitely not ideal for him. Oh, looks like maybe Kyle got an illegal overtake. Which is odd.
Yeah. This is very interesting. You've got it's a regular stop for Waddington.
Irving's in the pits.
You've got Romano, JBL into second. But look at this, Willamare, who didn't even take part in qualifying because of the qualifying ban he had to serve. He is up into 4th from 18th on the grid.
There's a chance he spun out earlier in the race. I don't remember which racing point had spun out. But he and Kyle battling. But our top 3 drivers are in the pits or leaving the pits now. I don't think they'll be able to keep their lead, or this much of a lead anyway.
Yeah, but Willem now up into third.
Oh, that's a time penalty for Kyle Keegan.
Yeah, for that'll be for his track infringements. Romano in the pits now. At the end of lap 9, which puts JBL in the Williams in the lead. But we've got Kyle Keegan in the Mercedes.
Might
within DRS
overtake.
range.
Yep, there it is. Both Mercedes.
There you go. Easy as you like.
That is a 2-3 Mercedes right now.
Murray.
Very well done by them.
Murray never really stood a chance. But have a look at this. Jar Bailu started 12th and he is now leading the race. Who would have thought that would be happening?
One of the few drivers who was not pitted yet. Yeah, only about 6 drivers or 5 drivers have not pitted yet. So, Jobby Lou being one of them, including the Racing Point actually. So, and Kyle Keegan.
Indeed. Yeah, you've got JBL, Kyle Keegan, Willem Made, Devon in the Haas, and Gareth in the Alfa Romeo. They've all yet to make a stop. Absolutely brilliant. Managed to keep himself out of trouble. How he's managed that is beyond me. And as a result, he is now leading the race. Who knows what's going to happen next?
It's a yellow flag. Looks like maybe one of the... Oh! Yeah, one of the McLarens, looks like Ivan, spun out and hit the wall. He's down in P10. Unclear whether he had... Oh, he definitely has wing damage. Massive wing damage.
So
He'll be pitting soon.
So does Romano, his teammate, who's just had to come in.
Not a good day for McLaren. For both drivers, they've been in multiple incidents so far this race. Very unfortunate for them.
Waddington, meanwhile, is starting to work his way through the field. He's already up into 4th, already bearing down on the Mercedes. Waddington has DRS, and he's going to take 3rd without much difficulty.
And Michael, with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Michael is down at P11. He will really need to work his way up to get back into his top 3 position. Now he's in P12, he's getting overtaken by Cookie.
Waddington, meanwhile, is right on the back of Kyle Keegan for 2nd place. Yellow flags in sector 3.
Oh, that was a Racing Point top. Willem. His car looks okay. I didn't really see what happened or what caused it, but he's gonna come into the pits.
Willem does come into the pits. Waddington, meanwhile, has just stormed up into second place. Irving up into fifth, meanwhile, as well.
And to just show how fast Anthony really is, Kyle Keegan, the driver behind him, has not pitted yet, but Anthony has. So a very impressive lead, and a great job by Anthony for not getting involved with any crashes. This is a very key component in his racing. I've noticed that from the past few weekends.
Absolutely. But now Waddington can start to focus on bearing down on JBL.
Kyle Keegan coming into the pits now. Looks like he'll be on a one-stop strategy. So he'll most likely go into the hards. Yep, we'll put on the hards.
Looks like it will be a one-stop for him. But Waddington does, while we say that, have the fastest lap of the race. No, that's actually Kyle Keegan on the hard tyres, my mistake. But Waddington, as we say that, has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Good battling going on for P10. Michael leading a pack of cars, about 5 or 6 cars behind him. They're all very close, and we should see some good action in that area.
We've got JBL in the pits now, which means Waddington back in the lead. JBL going on to the hard tyres. Interesting strategy call from him. Looks like he'll be hoping to go to the end of the race on those tyres. I mean, on paper it sounds like it's doable.
Definitely is doable. He's become... Oh wait, unless my game's glitched out. His front left is hard and his front right is medium on my screen. That's kind of odd. Yeah, it's definitely on the hards. And he has the advantage over Kyle Keegan by quite a bit. So as long as he can maintain that lead, he can definitely pull off a points position and hopefully get a lot of points.
We're almost halfway through the race already. Waddington's starting to pull out.
Here comes the second Mercedes into the pits. It's Brendan.
And we've got
Looks like he'll also be trying to do the one stop. Or no, he's back on the mediums, so he'll be doing a 2-stop. Interesting.
Irving on the hards. They're looking to go to the end of the race.
Unless Brendan has already been on the softs.
Young fights in sector 3. And it's, oh no! That's one of the Alphas.
Oh, he's had bad luck all weekend.
And there he is. Oh, he's on the main straight. It's Dion. Dion on the main straight.
We should see a safety car come out here soon. Oh no, he's okay. Never mind. That's really weird.
Managed to clear the car relatively quickly.
I would have really mixed things up a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't get a safety car. But
Keegan with another time penalty. Waddington already has Waddington with a 16-second lead over Jorge.
And it looks like both Mercedes won't be pitting anymore. Brendan had started on softs and has pitted twice now. So they will be racing for their positions.
Yeah, only Gareth and Devon are yet to make a stop. And as I say that, Devon does indeed come into the pit. It means only Gareth is yet to make a stop.
And Racing Point Iceman, I'm not sure what his name is, but he's on 14 laps on the hards. Definitely won't be able to make it to the end, so we'll see him pit again, possibly shortly.
Yeah, that's Tom McGregor.
Including
That's Tom McGregor.
P1 and 2, Anthony and Jorge. They're on the two-stop strategy.
Jorge's just coming to the pits again.
There he goes. Yep. It's a second stop. Although that was a little early, so I'm not sure what exactly happened there.
It's another front wing change.
Oh no.
That explains the yellow flags in sector 3.
Contact with a Racing Point and Brendan. Both cars look okay. That was a little close.
It's a bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, definitely could have been bad, but it's good that both drivers are still on their way. We'll see this Racing Point. Actually, no, he just pitted. I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah, P5 Racing Point will be pitting soon. Wadis is doing very well. P4 will have to maintain this position. He will possibly get P3 when this Red Bull comes into the pits. Which will be very soon. He's on lap 10. So we'll see the Red Bull and we'll see Anthony in the lead. Both come into the pits very shortly. Close battle for 9th here. Looks like Ace HM will take 9th place from Glenborn. Very well done on the pit straight. Very nice, clean overtake.
And Waddington does come into the pits. Waddington is in the pits. Got 13 laps. He's got enough to make. It's another set of mediums.
This is the last stop. I think he'll be okay. He'll actually maintain first place. He was so far ahead of Jai Ledoux, or Jai Ledoux.
JBL,
it's
hang on a
close.
second.
Oh, it's
yes,
close.
Indeed he does. And
Yeah. Oh, that's
JBL got the outside of
very
turn
close
2.
racing.
But Wannington shuts the door on him. Wannington maintains the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. 14 laps on those mediums? Yeah, he's got enough to get to the end of the race. Because bearing in mind, he did start on the soft tyres.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to pull it off. He's very good with his tires, and he'll be able to maintain his pace. Meanwhile, the Red Bull in third, he's got a time penalty, 3 seconds, and he should be pitting any lap now. He's on 12 laps, so definitely pushing it a little far. And Mike back up into 5th. He will also be pitting again. He's on 11 laps. And a yellow flag. Looks like it was Jorge. Yep, Jorge is spun, or maybe contact. Got there a little late.
Mike's in the pits. Mike's just coming to the pits.
Jorge is down into 14th. What an unfortunate race for him. Involved in a few incidents so far. So Mike onto the hards. Interesting choice, but he did start on the medium, so I guess he did have to switch to a different tire. And a 5-second time penalty for Jorge for speeding in the pit lane. His day is only getting worse, and he's in last. Looks like he might go for the fastest lap. Now he's switching onto the soft tire.
Indeed, we've got Hazelwood. We've got Hazelwood bearing down on McGregor.
And our newcomer Red Bull is now pitting. Which means Quadus takes 3rd and Brendan potentially take 4th. Red Bull down to 8th, possibly 9th.
John Taylor, meanwhile, is bearing down on Willem Mare for 5th place. He's done 14 laps on those mediums, so he'll probably need to come in for a stop at some point.
Yeah, he definitely will. He's only pitted once, and he's on the medium, so definitely will pit one more time. But a great race for the first. Have been able to maintain a pretty fast pace all day, and they are 3rd and 4th right now. JBL on the hards, hoping to maintain 2nd place, which would be an amazing result for him. And of course, Anthony continues to push forward and increase his gap.
John Taylor, meanwhile, coming into the pits after 15 laps on those mediums. There's another set of mediums for the final stint. It's an interesting call. Mike up into 9th after getting past Hazelwood.
Irving now getting very close to overtaking for P5.
He's got
He
the
has
DRS.
the DRS.
Not going to be close enough on this occasion, but he might get him on the main straight. Runs a little wide on turn 10. Will lose a bit of time as a result of that.
Oh, and he pushes it wide into that turn. Over the curve, you can see how much the car jumps up off the ground when you hit that, and look at how much time you just lost because of that.
Yeah, he lost 3 or 4 tenths on that one. It doesn't look like he's going to get him at turn 1 on this occasion. We've got Hazelwood in the pits, Caesar in the pits, 17 laps on the mediums. Looks like he's going to go for the soft tyres right through to the end. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Hazelwood might follow suit. No, he goes... Caesar goes for the mediums, but Hazelwood goes for another set of mediums.
Yeah, that's a mistake from Cookie. Definitely could have taken the advantage of having 7 laps left. Possibly he didn't see the lead. It was preset in his strategy, but it's unfortunate for him.
Who knows?
But Irving inching closer and closer every lap. Only a matter of time until he overtakes.
Here we go. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. It's... You know, Irving lost a bit more time. Much better than the previous lap. He's much closer this time. He's a lot closer. He goes for the move.
Clean overtake. Well done by Irving.
Clean as you like, up into 5th.
And now contending for possibly 4th with the Mercedes. Brendan unable to maintain a good pace. He's 12 seconds behind. Let's see. Yeah, 12 seconds behind the leader, or sorry, his teammate Kyle.
His teammate.
And Irving already right behind him. He'll get the DRS, maybe. Let's see. No, not yet. He'll get it on the pit straight. Oh, he does have it. Sorry, I didn't hear it go off.
He wasn't close enough to make the move. He did have the DRS, he wasn't close enough to make the move stick.
Right. Brendan runs wide through that right-hander. And wide there, too. This is a great opportunity for Irving.
That almost proved costly. And Irving gets past in the pits.
In the pits.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't blame him.
We'll be putting on the softs. Probably set a fastest lap. Get an extra point. And
yeah, he's dropped down the order quite considerably.
Yeah. It's like the McLaren slickly disc. 15 laps on the medium is very impressive. Should be pitting soon, maybe onto the softs. Cookie getting a time penalty, 3 seconds. And Anthony miles ahead, as usual. He'll have no
9
struggle
seconds ahead.
winning this race.
9 seconds ahead.
That time is only going up.
Romano, meanwhile, is within touching distance of Tom McGregor in the racing point for 8th place. In the closing stages of the race now, Caesar getting past Cookie meanwhile. occasion.
He does have 16 lap old mediums. Definitely a massive disadvantage.
I'll be amazed if he can get to the end of the race on those.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, he's got like 6 laps left. He should have pitted maybe a few laps ago onto the softs, and I think he would have been better off. And yep, there goes his tires, front left. It's just blown up.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Yeah, there it is on the onboard. On the onboard, there's your
Definitely
puncture.
learned from this one.
He's a bit too aggressive with his tyres. And that's his race up in smoke. He's not going to get any points as a result.
And Brendan and the Mercedes will be able to further his position.
There we go.
And we'll possibly see some drivers move into the points. Let's see. Yeah, so Ace in the Williams is now in the points.
5 laps to go before the checkered flag. And interesting, only 3 drivers now have been lapped. Jorge, Hazelwood, and Ivan. They're the only drivers that have been lapped so far.
Ivan has pitted 4 times this race. It's been in some unfortunate circumstances, and he showed great pace in qualifying, Q2 especially, and very unfortunate for him that he's been involved in so much. And Wallace could be pitting one more time.
He's onto the softs.
Maybe hoping for a fastest lap. See what he can do. And Michael approaching the Red Bull. Fight for P6. Let's see what he can do. And on top of that, we have a fight for P8 with Brendan and the Force India. Brendan slowly catching up on his soft tires. Michael in the DRS.
Still maintaining his lead. And with all the time penalties that we've had so far, we're going to wait and see who actually crosses the line to get the podium. Michael, meanwhile, bearing down on Neil in the Red Bull. He's going to be close enough to make the move. Indeed he does, and again, clean as you like, up into 6th.
Great job from Michael. And I just remembered, many of the drivers have time penalties, so it'll be interesting to see where everybody adds up at the end. The leaderboard that you see now will not be the final one for sure.
So yellow flags in sector 2.
Like Jorge.
Indeed it is.
Unclear as, alright, maybe he was being lapped, so he just slowed down. Unclear.
He's got front wing
Actually,
damage
his
as well.
wing, yeah, his front wing.
He does have front wing
Must have
damage
spun it.
again. And, Tom McGregor just lost 2 places there to Brendan and John Taylor. And look at that, Michael on the hard tyres has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Wow, that's aggressive. So we have a few drivers today. Very impressive race. Oh, contact in the first corner with Brendan and Williams. And Brendan gets overtaken by both drivers. Unfortunate for him, he's on the softs and contact again. Drove into the force or the racing point, taking back his position, and a late dive. Wow, that's unusual.
And Tom McGregor,
Very late
Tom
dive.
McGregor's going to be out of the battle as a result. There's 2 laps to go.
But JBL 10 positions up from where he started, and Willem 13 positions up for P5. If I had to choose a driver of the day, it'd definitely be JBL. Amazing strategy, and able to pull off an amazing an amazing race so far today.
Absolutely, I'd have to agree with you. Definitely agree. JBL, definitely driver of the day for me. A great strategy. He's kept himself out of trouble, and look at that. He's even closing the gap on Waddington. But is he going to be close enough to be able to make any sort of impact and potentially spoil Waddington's victory party?
That's interesting. Anthony was almost 10 seconds in front of JBL, and now we see them down to 4. So unfortunately, it is a little too late in the race for them to contest one another. Caesar sitting the fastest lap on his soft tires.
Now we're into the final lap of the race.
And Michael, considering his circumstances and what's happened to him this race, I'd say that's a good result for him. I think he had to pit a couple more times than he wanted to, but great pace from him all day. So,
Gotta agree with you on that one then. This will be Waddington's second victory on the trot, his second win of the season. And that'll certainly put him one step closer to potentially battling for the championship this season.
it's a weird battle when the person leaving isn't even in the battle. So it's just a matter of him maintaining his amazing race pace for the next few weekends and see how far of the lead he can get.
Indeed, but nevertheless, Anthony Waddington crosses the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix. JBL crosses the line in second. And Kyle Keegan, what's he going to do? He picks up time penalties. And is Irving going to make any sort of dent? Is he going to take it? No, he isn't.
No, he's not.
So
well,
it's Waddington, JBL, and Keegan will be your podium.
and what a great result for the new Red Bull driver, really putting in his place as a new driver and showing how fast he really is.
Absolutely, a great result from him. 7th place. He'll be very happy with that. And nobody Nobody even close to Caesar's fastest lap. So Caesar is going to take the bonus point for the fastest lap.
Gentlemen, congratulations on an amazing race.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. That was a good one.
So we've got 2/3 of the podium with us. Just waiting on Keegan to see if he'll join us.
He's here.
I'm here.
Everybody's here. We're all accounted for.
Fantastic. Yep, we've got the full squad here. So we'll just wait till we get back to the menu before we get into the post-race interview. So here we are, your final standings. Waddington, JBL, Keegan, Irving just missing out on podium despite Keegan's time penalties. Willem, Mike, Neil, great debut for him. John Taylor, Brendan, and Tom McGregor rounding up your top 10. And Caesar with the fastest lap point. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the post-race interviews. We've got third place, Kyle Keegan, second place, JBL, and second race in a row, your winner, Anthony Waddington. Waddington, massive congratulations on you win this evening. The momentum for you just keeps on going in both leagues.
It does, doesn't it? I'm just on a roll at the minute. It'll come to an end though. It almost came to an end on second lap. I spun it and damaged my front wing.
And yet, despite that, you were still able to work your way through the field to take the race win.
Yeah. It wasn't comfortable at the end, put it that way. Especially them last two laps when I seen it gap down to 3 seconds.
So, and with that in mind, how with the break now essentially in effect now, how do you plan on spending the break before we head to Canada?
Probably more practice.
I love the dedication there. So, Wellington, hope all goes well in Canada, and again, massive congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Evening.
Congratulations to the other two drivers.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
JBL, another second place for you, another podium finish. So a fantastic performance all round.
Yeah, thank you. I started at 12th place on the grid. Just tried to keep it clean until the safety car, and everyone else in the soft tyres, some people pitted. Managed to keep my pace going, tried to keep it clean. When I saw Anthony coming out of the pits, set the second time round, I thought of going down the outside. That didn't work. And right at the end, I saw that Anthony had crashed on the third sector, so that was really surprising. I tried to catch up as much as I could, but of course he had a big enough gap to win the race.
And we noticed that your strategy was starting on the mediums and then on to the hards. How did you manage to make that strategy work?
the safety car helped. The safety car helped. Yeah, since the safety car was +2 laps, I managed to keep my tyres going, my medium tyres going until I could go on the hards, and the hards managed to carry all the way through the race. Managed to keep my front wing clean. That was really important to getting the results. Yeah.
And same question for you, as I'd said to Anthony. How do you plan on spending the break now that we've got a couple of weeks before Canada?
I thought we were doing Monaco because that's what Caesar told me.
I think this
I think
league is
it'd
good
be
Monaco.
I thought we were doing a race in Monaco, so might as well just do Monaco practice and also Canada as well.
I'll double check with Caesar regarding that. But in the meantime, congratulations again on your second place, and here's hoping this helps you potentially challenge for the championship later this season.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. And last but by no means least, Kyle, great performance from you. Third place today must be a great feeling for you after the carnage at the start.
Yeah, it was a real battle trying to get back because I had a spin on like lap 2, I think, and it put me back to like 8th or 10th or something. So I was pretty scared from that point, trying to battle my way back. But I did the same strategy as JB Lou, the one stopper, and it worked pretty well.
Oh, I certainly did that. And despite the time penalties, Irving wasn't quite close enough to be able to stop you from getting onto the podium.
Yeah, I was still gunning for second, but I had some trouble with some back markers that messed me up a little bit. So, good job to the guys that placed above me. It was a good race.
And after this performance today,
Check the chart.
how do you? Once it decides to update. So with all that in mind, how do you feel? How do you feel your preparations are gonna go heading into the next race?
I think the same as always. A few practices on the weeknights, getting on the time trial boards, continuing to, just put the time in to get the laps down,
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know everyone's thoughts leading into Monaco. It's going to be carnage to some degree. Is there anything you guys are planning on doing or preparing yourself for to be able to get through all that? And
just trying to avoid the walls. Monaco is not one of my favourite tracks. I expect 7 finishes and 13 retirements in that race. At least.
Definitely.
So I'm not looking forward to it. Hopefully try to get a clean front wing. Wouldn't be surprised if I had a red front wing in the first lap. Honestly, I dread that race.
I think that's
I think
mutual agreement there.
Yeah, I think a majority of the drivers are definitely going to be on the same boat as you say. I've just double checked the calendar, and it turns out yes, we do have Monaco next week. That's going to be very interesting to see how that one plays out.
Yay!
Gotta qualify P1.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but nevertheless, thanks very much for your time, guys, and I'll see you guys next week for Monaco.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, Owen, thanks very much for joining me on commentary this evening. It's a pleasure
Yeah, it's
having
been
you.
a pleasure. It was fun. I might do it again during Monaco. We'll see.
And so yeah, there you go, folks. Next week for the Extreme One Racing League, it will be the Monaco Grand Prix. Who is going to win? For many people, the most prestigious race on the calendar. Who knows what's going to happen? The only way to find out is to tune in from 5 p.m. UK time for round 6 of the Extreme One Racing League. And so yeah, until then, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. It's good night from me. Thanks for watching.